Kei Nishikori was born on December 29, 1989, in the city of Matsuyama, located in the Ehime Prefecture on the island of Shikoku, Japan. From a young age, Nishikori showed a keen interest in sports, and it was his father, who had a passion for tennis, who introduced him to the sport. His parents enrolled him in tennis lessons at the age of 5, and by the time he was a teenager, Nishikori's talent and passion for tennis were undeniable. At the age of 13, Nishikori moved to the United States to attend the prestigious Nick Bollettieri Tennis Academy in Florida. This was a pivotal moment in his career, as it allowed him to train with top-level coaches and compete against the best young players in the world. Living away from home in a foreign country at such a young age was a challenge, but it was also a crucial step that helped him develop the skills necessary to compete at the highest levels of tennis. Throughout his teenage years, Nishikori's game flourished. His speed, agility, and ability to adapt his game to different surfaces made him stand out among his peers. By 2007, Nishikori was competing on the junior circuit, and his success in youth competitions caught the attention of tennis scouts. That same year, he won the U.S. Open boys singles title, which provided a strong foundation for his transition into the professional ranks. Transition to professional tennis and early success, 2008-2012. Nishikori turned professional in 2007, and it didn't take long for him to make his mark on the ATP Tour. His early years on the professional circuit were challenging, as he faced stiff competition and struggled to find consistency. However, Nishikori's determination and commitment to improving his game kept him moving forward. His breakthrough came in 2008 when he won his first ATP Challenger Tour title in Surbiton, England, marking his arrival on the international tennis scene. In 2009, Nishikori reached the fourth round of the US Open, which was a significant milestone in his career. That performance showcased his potential to compete at the highest levels of the sport, and it was a sign of the many great things to come. Nishikori's game was characterized by his quickness, precise ground strokes, and an ability to outlast opponents in extended rallies. These attributes would become hallmarks of his play for the remainder of his career. Nishikori's ascent continued in 2010, when he made his breakthrough at the ATP Tour level. He reached his first ATP final in Delray Beach, Florida. And though he did not win, the results showed that he had the skill and mentality to challenge top players. Nishikori also began to gain recognition for his impressive performances in ATP Masters 1000 events, notably in Toronto in 2011, where he advanced to the final. Career peak and Grand Slam success. 2014-2016. Nishikori's career truly reached its peak in 2014. That year, he won his first ATP Masters 1000 title in Memphis, cementing his place as one of the game's most promising talents. However, his most significant achievement came at the US Open, where he made an incredible run to the final. In a tournament filled with surprises, Nishikori defeated top players like Novak Djokovic, Stan Wawrinka, and the formidable Gael Monfils, showcasing his composure under pressure and ability to excel in big moments. He became the first Japanese man to reach a Grand Slam final in 81 years, and although he lost to Marin Cilic in the final, Nishikori's performance at the 2014 US Open was a career-defining moment. Following his US Open performance, Nishikori's success continued, and in 2014, he became the first Japanese man to crack the ATP Top 5 rankings, a historic achievement for Japanese tennis. Nishikori's success in Grand Slam events was not limited to the US Open. He also reached the semi-finals of the Australian Open in 2012, a strong showing that suggested he was capable of making deep runs in major tournaments. The 2015 season saw Nishikori maintain his position among the top players on the ATP Tour. He reached the quarter-finals of Wimbledon and the semi-finals of the Australian Open, consistently proving himself as one of the most reliable and well-rounded players on the circuit. Nishikori's aggressive baseline game, combined with his ability to counterpunch and defend, made him a tough opponent for anyone on tour. In 2016, Nishikori achieved another career milestone by reaching his second Grand Slam semi-final at the French Open. He defeated top players along the way, including John Isner, and showcased his ability to compete at the highest levels of the sport. Nishikori's success during this period solidified his reputation as one of the top players of his generation. Although injuries began to play a role in limiting his schedule, Nishikori's ranking remained within the top 10, and he had established himself as one of the most dangerous players in the sport. Injury setbacks and consistency, 2017-2019. The next few years of Nishikori's career were marked by injury setbacks. In 2017, Nishikori suffered a wrist injury that forced him to miss a significant portion of the season. Despite the injury struggles, he made a remarkable comeback in 2018, reaching the quarterfinals of Wimbledon and showing that his game remained intact despite the physical challenges. In 2018, Nishikori won his 12th ATP title in Brisbane, defeating Alex de Minaur in the final. This victory was a testament to his resilience and ability to fight through injuries and setbacks. Nishikori's mental toughness and consistent performance in Masters 1000 events continued to see him remain a fixture in the top 10, despite the growing competition from younger players on the ATP Tour. During the 2019 season, Nishikori continued to play at a high level, although his results were inconsistent at times. He reached the quarterfinals of the Australian Open, showing glimpses of the form that had made him a consistent contender at the Grand Slam level. However, injury concerns persisted and Nishikori was forced to withdraw from several tournaments in the latter half of the year. Despite these challenges, he maintained his reputation as one of the most skilled and well-rounded players in the game. Final years and legacy, 2020-present. As of 2020, Nishikori's career began to experience further injury challenges, and the COVID-19 pandemic interrupted the tennis schedule, preventing many players from competing at their usual pace. Nishikori was forced to take extended breaks, but he returned to the ATP Tour in 2021, determined to regain his form and reclaim his place among the sport's elite. Although injuries and tough competition made it difficult for him to reach the same heights as in his peak years, Nishikori's skill and determination remained evident. Despite not winning another Grand Slam, Nishikori's legacy is solidified as one of Japan's greatest tennis players. He brought unprecedented success to Japanese tennis, serving as a role model for aspiring athletes in his home country. Nishikori's achievements also helped elevate the profile of tennis in Japan, inspiring a new generation of players to pursue the sport professionally. His fighting spirit, incredible work ethic, and exceptional tennis IQ made him a respected figure among his peers. Nishikori's career achievements include reaching a career-high ATP ranking of World No. 4, winning 12 ATP titles, and securing numerous victories over top players. He is the first Japanese player in history to reach the final of the US Open and the only Japanese man to reach the semifinals of all 4 Grand Slam tournaments. His versatility on various surfaces, combined with his tactical intelligence and baseline prowess, made him a formidable player. In terms of his lasting legacy, Nishikori will always be remembered as a trailblazer for Japanese tennis. He proved that athletes from countries with limited tennis history can achieve greatness and compete on the world stage. His rise to prominence in the sport has had a profound impact on the global tennis landscape, and his influence continues to inspire players, particularly in Asia. As of the mid-2020s, Nishikori's future remains uncertain. However, his status as one of the sport's most accomplished and beloved players is unquestionable. Through his career, Nishikori not only advanced the sport of tennis in Japan, but also proved that with resilience and determination, anything is possible on the world's biggest stages.